All right, so we are just a few days out from the Oscar nominations. We got the list up, we got snubs and highlights and all kinds of stuff to talk through. Andy, bring us into it a little bit. What's going on with the Oscars?
So, well, let me tell you about what I was so excited for this. Like, I couldn't sleep. You know how when you have a flight early in the morning and you keep waking up because you're paranoid of missing it? That was me on Thursday morning in anticipation of these. Like, way too excited for this because they announced them very early, 5:30 a.m. Pacific time, 7:30 a.m. for us, so they can be on the 9:30 news on the East Coast. And we got the nominations. Historic not wins, but nominations for Sinners with a record-breaking 16 nominations, most ever of any film. They did introduce a new category for best casting, which did add, but they still would have broken the record even without that. And we actually lost a category a couple of years ago. They combined the two sound categories into one. So these things are always shifting. One Battle After Another was also a top nominee with 13 nominations, and then Frankenstein, Marty Supreme, and Sentimental Value had 9 apiece. So you have kind of like this cluster of the big ones with lots of nominations, some other films with fewer. Some surprises, some snubs, which will be fun to talk about, and some well-deserved. I think overall, it's probably one of the better nomination years.
Yeah, it seems like it's been pretty much what we expected. For me personally, big surprise for Sinners getting 16 noms. That is historic, and unfortunately, like not. I wish it was an indicator that movie's gonna like pull a bunch of attention and be the best picture winner, right? Because you would think with 16 noms, like that seems to have gotten the most nominations. That implies that it is the best film. Not necessarily. Let's remember Scorsese's Killers of the Flower Moon got 10 noms, won nothing. The Irishman got 10 noms, won nothing. So there's a chance Sinners gets 1 or 2. It might get none. It might get 10 of them. Who knows? I no way of knowing. Is very funny that the black lead vampire movie is doing so good. Meanwhile, Disney cannot get Blade off the ground. But outside of that, very excited for Sinners. Some surprises too out of Sinners. Delroy Lindo for Best Supporting Actor was a big surprise, and I'm excited. Hey, I'm pulling for him. I figured Sean Penn had it in the bag, or maybe Benicio del Toro, but there's some theory that they'll split the vote for One Battle After Another. No Wicked, right? 2 F1 noms, which is weird. I don't think anybody expected those. And I got a personal snub I'll save for the end. We'll talk about it though. Let's dig into it. Where do you want to start? Best Picture, I suppose?
I'll start with Best Picture, but before then, when the first ones that they announced were Best Supporting Actors, and the first name was Elle Fanning for Best Support. And as soon as they read her name, I was like, oh, this is going to be something. And then they also named Inga Ibsdottir Liljeas from the same film. So I was like, oh my God, because they had been snubbed in previous awards. And I was like, this is going to be something totally different from what I think people were anticipated. That said, let's jump into Best Picture. So we have 10 nominees: Bugonia, Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, The Secret Agent, Sentimental Value, Sinners, and Train Dreams. Take it away, Zach.
I was gonna say, do I jump in here? Yeah, no. I don't know. Best Picture for me, I think it's One Battle After Another. It was my favorite pick of the year. Sinners was right behind it, though. I don't have the love for Marty Supreme like I thought I was gonna. I think I was just maybe overhyped. People have speculated Hamnet might sneak it from Chloe Zhao. I'm not so sure. F1 is not getting this. There's no way F1 is getting Best Picture. If F1 gets Best Picture, we riot. We're not doing it. I don't know. Otherwise, okay, right? Begonia, I think, is too weird. I don't think it's going to win. Train Dreams is too small. I don't think it's going to win. I don't know. I think Frankenstein ain't quite it. What do you think?
So it's funny because I've seen posts that have named no less than 5 of these films as like the worst nominee ever. So there's a lot of difference of opinion. And usually, since there's 10 of these, you have 5 real contenders and then 5 kind of honorable mentions. F1 is like Top Gun Maverick from a few years ago, where it's the popular pick. It's to get regular people. It's a dad movie to get them. And F1 is a great technical achievement. Like they had to develop new camera technology and new editing things to get the footage. But it's a total popcorn movie. It's not like a big serious drama like you usually get. I think some other, not necessarily a snub, but I think people were expecting it was just an accident to get in here for Jafar Panahi to get in here Best Picture and also Best Director, which he also didn't get. So there was, I think, some anticipation for that, but then it missed. But again, everything that's in here is pretty incredible. In F1, you were always going to have a pick like this. There's always kind of a popcorn pick. I mean, you could name 5 other films that are better and more artistic and all that, but you were always going to have something like that.
Yeah, typically Best Picture and Best Director go hands in hand, not every year. So Best Director, we've got Hamnet for Chloe Zhao, Marty Supreme with Josh Safdie, One Battle After Another for Paul Thomas Anderson, Sentimental Value for Joaquin Trier, and Sinners for Ryan Coogler. Man, second Sinners nom. What do you think?
Yeah. So again, with the smaller categories, you usually have 3 positions that are locked and then a couple of toss-ups. We knew that Paul Thomas Anderson and Ryan Coogler would get it. They're the front runners. Josh Safdie in here isn't a surprise, but it's surprising not to see Josh Safdie in some other places, which we'll talk about. Chloe Zhao, again, only the second woman to be nominated twice in the Best Director category, and of course, Sentimental Value, which was completely overlooked at the Golden Globes and at the SAG Awards. They didn't nominate any of those actors, and now you have Joachim Trier in as well. It's probably gonna be Paul Thomas Anderson. The people in the know seem to think that it's One Battle After Another's year for these top awards, and there's not really much competition. You never know, but it seems like it's probably going to lean that way.
Yeah, I'm again, that's my pick, and I think if One Battle takes Best Picture, it probably takes Best Director. Some usually goes hand in hand, not always. We'll see. You want me to take Best Actor and Actress?
Go ahead.
Yeah, Best Actor nominees are Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme, Leonardo DiCaprio for One Battle After Another, Ethan Hawke in Blue Moon, Richard Linklater feature, Michael B. Jordan in Sinners, and I keep mispronouncing his name. It's not Wagner. I've heard people saying like Wagner. I don't know. Wagner Moura in The Secret Agent for Neon, which has a nomination for Best International, right? What do you think?
So no surprise at the top again, Timothée Chalamet for Marty Supreme and DiCaprio. We knew they were front runners. The big question was, would Michael B. Jordan get in? I mean, Sinners came out a long time ago. It's a different kind of movie. It's more popular than kind of Oscar baity. So I was glad to see him. Ethan Hawke, I think, here's the big surprise. We haven't seen Blue Moon, but I've heard he's phenomenal in it. And when you think of who else got left out, I mean, that also could have been Jay Kelly, maybe.
Probably
Jay Kelly. Train Dreams. Joel Edgerton, maybe for Train Dreams. I've heard. I've heard it. I hear Wagner more because he's Brazilian. He's not German. So,
sure.
But I've heard he's phenomenal in The Secret Agent, and that movie might win Best International Feature. So, again, DiCaprio and Chalamet probably the top 2 contenders, but really nice to see the rest of them in here.
Yeah, I was really disappointed to not see Lee Byung-hun for No Other Choice in here. It's kind of my big snub of this year. I think that movie should have gotten nominated for like 3 of these, and I'm really disappointed it didn't. But he's tremendous. It's a very physical role. We just covered it last week on the pod. You can check out the review on YouTube. But yeah, he's really great in that movie, and I'm really bummed that he's not getting any love in here. I think Neon just ran the movie too late. They ran the movie in January. It's like, what were you guys doing? It's a fall movie, for God's sake. Run it in November, but whatever. That they ran it when they ran it. You mind if I hit Best Actress?
Go ahead.
Jessie Buckley for Hamnet, Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You, Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue, Renee Reinsva in Sentimental Value, and Emma Stone in Begonia. I think we all know who's going to win this. I think there's one in here that's a surprise. You want to fill folks in?
So Jessie Buckley is the big front runner here for Hamnet. She's been the front runner for a while now. Nice to see Rose Byrne in here for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You. We just covered that film a couple weeks ago. She's getting in over Jennifer Lawrence, who was, some people feel like she was snubbed. I think her performance is maybe just a little bit too much for the average person. We talked about how Die My Love is a very difficult film that you would have a hard time recommending to anyone. And there's the thing about the Oscars, they want to highlight films that you can share with other people. And that's just, it's very tough film. Renata Reinsva, of course, we thought would also be a front runner for this for Sentimental Value. Emma Stone, of course, for Begonia. The big sneak here is Kate Hudson in Song Sung Blue, who got in over Chase Infinity, who was put in for Best Actress, which I feel she probably should have gone in the supporting actress place, but then she would have been been going up against Tiana Taylor, which you don't want to have happen. So that's a little bit, not a snub, but there's also things like Chase Infinity. This is literally her first movie role ever. Like, she's done TV before, and she's young. So there's this thinking of, well, she'll have another chance. Whereas Kate Hudson is like a Hollywood institution. She's been working in the industry for 30 years. Everyone knows her. Everyone loves her. She's been campaigning. So it's funny because last year the narrative was swapped. Demi Moore didn't get the Oscar, and not a norm. Mikey Madison did, and she was the younger one. So, but yeah, Kate, and I've heard Kate Hudson is really good in Song Sung Blue, but it's a movie no one's watching and really cares about or really cares.
I know. I haven't seen it, so I can't get on here and honestly say Kate Hudson shouldn't be in here. Like, for all I know, it is the performance of her career, but it feels a little bit like a career nom. You know what I mean? Oh, well, she's done so much. She's been around for so long. Meanwhile, Chase Infinity, who has no real on-screen career to talk of, at least at the Oscar level, is going toe-to-toe against Sean Penn in her first big role and like gets nothing. And don't get me wrong, like when I saw the movie, people were coming out like, oh my God, Chase Infinity should get an Oscar for this. I wasn't in that camp. All right, she's young and she has a lot to do, but I haven't seen Kate Hudson's Song Sung Blue. Even not having seen it, I just feel like, come on, what's that doing on there? You know what I mean? Like, maybe it's incredible. Maybe it is a super moving performance. I have not seen the film, but I'm skeptical about that one winning. I think it's probably Buckley for Hamnet, and if it's not Buckley, it's got to be Rose Byrne for If I Had Legs I'd Kick You. That movie's awesome. Also covered both these on the pod. All these we've covered on the pod. You should go check out the reviews.
Yeah, and I think it's important for people to realize, like, these awards it's not a meritocracy. The performances have only a little bit to do with the win. There's a lot of campaigning. There's a lot of money. There's a lot of just, influence and, going to Q&As and screenings. And it's a whole, and most awards things are like, there's a lot of politics going on in the back. So just keep that in mind. In Best Supporting Actor, we had Benicio Del Toro for One Battle After Another, Jacob Elordi for Frankenstein, Delroy Lindo for Sinners, Sean Penn, One Battle After Another, and Stellan Skarsgård for Sentimental Value. So Benicio Del Toro, I think, was is one of the front runners along with Sean Penn. They might split votes though, which might change things. Stellan Skarsgård just won last week or a couple weeks ago for Sentimental Value. So I think the two big surprises here: Jacob Elordi getting in for Frankenstein, which is one of these. It's deserved, but it was a long shot, so it's surprising that he did actually get in. I think that's a big positive for him. And same thing with Delroy Lindo. He was someone that people are like, man, that's a great performance. It's probably not going to get recognized. And it absolutely did. And he's had an incredible career. He was incredible in The Five Bloods 5 years ago that we also covered on the show. So again, exciting picks. It might shake things up. But a lot of it's just, it's an honor to be nominated situation.
I came out of One Battle thinking Sean Penn had a lock on this Oscar. Captain Lockjaw is one of the most despicable villains of the year by a mile. Like, he goes toe-to-toe against young Chase Infinity, Tiana Taylor, DiCaprio. Like, he just comes out of the woodwork like he's a veteran. He's been doing it for years, and he has. He's despicable. And I thought, man, this guy's the best. But then people started talking Benicio Del Toro. Now they talk them splitting the vote. If I'm going to pick anybody here, honestly, since these noms going out, it's Lindo, baby. Give it to him. I want to see it. I'm a Delroy Lindo stan. I'm in for it. I hope he takes it. I don't know if he will, but we'll see. Best Supporting Actress, Elle Fanning for Sentimental Value, Inga Ipsdottir-Liljeqvist, I know I butchered that, for Sentimental Value, Amy Madigan in Weapons, Wunmi Mosaku in Sinners, and Tiana Taylor for One Battle After Another. I think the big surprise here is Madigan for Weapons. There was some maybe speculation from some lofty Oscar viewers that Weapons might get a Best Picture nom. I don't know about that, but this I think is their only nom, right? For Weapons is Amy Madigan. Kind of a big one, right? Horror is here to stay, I guess.
Yeah, for sure. And someone pointed out that not Zach Krager, the director, he's not really campaigning for Weapons. He's on to the next movie. He's shooting Resident Evil. And like, you kind of have to put your life on hold and do the campaigning. And he's just moving on with his next movie, which is fine. But there was some talk that Weapons might get original screenplay or a Best Picture nom. Even it definitely, I mean, if you get F1 in there, you can justify just about everyone else. Like I said, the big surprises were both Elle Fanning and Inga Ipsdottir-Liljeqvist getting in for Sentimental Value. Big win for Elle Fanning. And like I said, I was shocked when her name was the first one read. Wunmi Mosaku, who was in Sinners, also, like Delroy Lindo, another great performance that people were saying, man, I hope it'd be nice if that got recognized. It probably won't. And here she is being nominated. fantastic actress, and of course Tiana Taylor, who I think is the front runner. Well, I mean, who knows? She's one of the front runners for One Battle After Another, and she won the Golden Globe for the same category a couple weeks ago.
Yeah, and of course she's in The Rip, which if we insert this in the episode when we do it on Tuesday, we will have just talked about. So yeah, keep an eye out for Tiana Taylor. Best Adapted Screenplay. Begonia, Frankenstein over Netflix, Hamnet with Chloe Zhao, One Battle After Another, written by Paul Thomas Anderson, and Train Dreams over at Netflix. Man, tough one. These are actually some really good scripts. I have a tough time picking out one of these. Hamnet's super emotional. One Battle is obviously based on the Thomas Pynchon novel Vineland. That's where that's adapted from. Train Dreams, Frankenstein, and Begonia. I don't know, man. It's hard to believe Begonia is even not its own thing, but it's based on a film, Save the Green Planet. I think a Korean film from a few years ago.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know. What do you think here?
I think this is another category that's locked by Paul Thomas Anderson. Again, they're predicting him in Best Picture, Best Director, and this category, Best Adapted Screenplay. Everyone else, I mean, it's fine. There's nothing really stands out. There's something else. There's a certain strategy of who do you want on stage on awards night. Like these are the people who like run the awards and the whole show. And there's thought of like, well, how can we get a certain director or a certain, like, how do we get Jafar Panahi on stage? That sort of thing. And where the category almost doesn't matter. But I think that's probably going to go to Paul Thomas Anderson. Best Original Screenplay, Blue Moon. It Was Just an Accident. Oh, sorry. Marty Supreme, Sentimental Value, and Sinners. This is, man, wide open. I think Sinners, I think, is probably front runner. Again, It Was Just an Accident. This is one of the places that it has been recognized. And again, if you want to get Jafar Panahi up there, this is maybe the category you give him. Exciting original things. Again, we haven't seen Blue Moon. Apparently, we need to. That's the other.
Yeah.
Is it the Linklater?
Yeah. Richard Linklater film. That and Nouvelle Vogue, which I think is on Netflix now. Didn't watch that one either.
So we'll definitely check that out once it's available to see, which a lot of this stuff is not. It's hard.
Yeah. Every once in a while, I was just complaining about this last week. Every once in a while, an Oscars movie will like just go straight to VOD and just be $20 in there forever and never go to streaming. I'm sure Blue Moon won't be one of those movies, but like some of these will just sneak off and you will just never catch them again. So we'll try to nail them down at least in between now and Oscar time in March. Best Animated nominees include Arco, Elio for Disney, K-pop Demon Hunters, Little Amelie, or the character of Rain, and Zootopia 2, Walt Disney. I know Zootopia 2 is the highest earner for Disney ever in company history, but it's got to be K-pop, dude. It has to be K-pop. If it's not K-pop, the world's going to be upset. Like, I think this is kind of the thing. I think it's kind of the moment. What do you think?
Elio is the big sneak here. I don't know why that's on here. Najah 2 should also be on here. Highest grossing film of the year. Completely overlooked by the Academy. Yeah, it should be K-pop Demon Hunters for sure. I mean, the movie, it's a fun movie. It's a good movie. It was also just such a cultural phenomenon.
Yeah.
Zootopia 2 is doing great, but that's also largely doing great overseas. It's not a huge phenomenon here, really. Also, this movie, Little Amelie, or the character of Rain, never heard of it.
The Oscars, the Academy has got to start leaning into anime, and I know that Disney is terrified that anime is going to dominate things, but like, I'm sorry, Demon Slayer, Chainsaw Man, and Najah all should be on here, and it's ridiculous they're not. There's really no excuse.
Yeah, you're exactly right. Like, this is it's almost feels like a family category, and they're like straying away from anything that's a little bit more adult, which that's what like Demon Slayer and Chainsaw Man are like hard R properties. Apparently, so yeah, they really you're doing a disservice not having like the big anime films in here.
Yeah, like even if it's R-rated, yeah. Definitely.
Best International Feature, The Secret Agent out of Brazil, It Was Just an Accident, France, Sentimental Value from Norway, Surat from Spain, and The Voice of Hind Rajab from Tunisia. Incredible lineup. Again, this is where we're missing No Other Choice, sadly, but these are It's a good year for international films. I think the main contender here is It Was Just an Accident, especially with Sentimental Value being in the Best Picture category. I've heard the description. I didn't know what the voice of Hind Rajab was, and then I heard a little bit about it. And tough movie, man.
Oh, really? I don't know anything about it.
It's a thing. I believe it's out of Gaza, but
Oh
a
shit.
girl's like family is like bombed in their car, and she's like trying to call for help from an ambulance, and the people on the other side of the like call have to decide whether or not to like send in someone to try and save her.
Oh good
And it's
God.
based on like it's based on a real life situation.
Yeah, man, there's some real stuff going on the other side of the world, and that's part of what's cool about Best International Feature is they can dip into stories like that. It was just an accident. It was a really great watch just a couple weeks ago. We covered it on the pod. Looking forward to Secret Agent, Sentimental Value rocked. I want to see Surat, and yeah, I don't know anything about the voice of Heinz Job. Sounds like I should check it out, though. All sound like powerful films, for sure. What do you think takes it?
Like I said, it was just an accident, but also The Secret Agent has been getting a lot of buzz too. It's a film we're greatly anticipating to see as well.
Yeah. All right. I'm going to skip documentary and Best Animated. I just haven't seen any of them. I could tell you what they are, but I don't really know.
Yeah.
I'm going to hit, I guess, casting, I suppose. Best casting, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Secret Agent, and Sinners. Man, I haven't seen Secret Agent. One Battle is something particularly special. You're pulling Tiana Taylor and Chase Infinity like diamonds in the rough, and getting incredible performances against them. Hamnet's really cool. Supreme has a lot of young actresses, or young actors and actresses. And then Sinners is something special. I don't know. What do you think? This could go one of four ways.
So this is a brand new category, and it's a little unclear what it is. So what it is not a best cast award. It's not for like, the best 5 actors of a film. It's for best casting. And in other words, the person who cast the role. So all the people nominated are not famous people. They're people you don't know. So it's a little strange because they haven't really clarified that. But keeping that in mind, that's how this is done. I think, man, I don't know, because it's a brand new award. It could really go in any way. I mean, I think Sinners has a really good
Sinners, I had to guess. Yeah.
One Battle After Another, and Marty Supreme. Also, we haven't seen The Secret Agent. Someone said, Hamnet, you cast 2 people. Why is that up there?
Hey, Joe, what's his name is in there too? Is Shakespeare's brother, right? Yeah, right. That guy's in there. Yeah, no, you're kind of right. It's like the kids, whoever cast the children, I guess that's who we're giving an award to. Nina Gold to cast Hamnet, by the way, for Focus Features. Credit where it's due. Yeah, Sinners, I guess. Yeah, it's a new category. I don't know. I guess Sinners. Like if I had to think of like the most out there picks in ensemble, Sinners is my pick. You want to take cinematography?
In best cinematography, Dan Lawson for Frankenstein, Darius Koji for Marty Supreme, Michael Bonham for One Battle After Another, Autumn Gerald Arkapaw for Sinners, and Adolfo Vasola for Train Dreams. I mean, man, some of these are great. I didn't like Frankenstein, but it did have really great cinematography. Again, Sinners and One Battle After Another are probably the front runners, but again, it's a really good stacked nomination.
I'm in the opposite camp. I did not enjoy the way Frankenstein was shot. I've had a couple people encourage me to check it out in a theater. I've not seen it in a theater. Admittedly, I did watch it at home on Netflix. It's different, and that might win. I mean, different wins, right? Like doing something out there and strange, but it's this constant motion that Guillermo Del Toro is bent on. He talks about it in the commentary for Nightmare Alley. That like, I wanted a film where the camera is always moving, always, and never stops. And that's Frankenstein. The camera never stops. And I just was not into it. It felt kind of TV. It felt kind of low rent to me, but also it's got a nom here. So like, clearly I stand apart in that opinion. We'll see if it pulls it. If it's not them, I don't know. I really like the look of Train Dreams. It was a short digital shoot for Train Dreams. So I don't think it's getting either. One Battle, maybe. I don't know. I don't know who's taking that. Costume design. Avatar Fire and Ash gets a nom. Finally. Bwah, bwah. Yeah, for costume design over with Deborah L. Scott at Walt Disney. Kate Hawley for Frankenstein at Netflix. Malgosia Terzanska for Hamnet at Focus Features. Miyako Belize for Marty Supreme at A24. And Ruth E. Carter for Sinners at Warner Brothers. Now listen, Marty Supreme had to do a lot. Credit where it's due. I saw a costume thing on Marty Supreme, and they had to put a lot of people in like 50s fits and patterns and all kinds of stuff, and I totally see that. Frankenstein looks pretty good too. Hamnet, like you said, not a big cast, not too complicated. Avatar's digital. Like that one feels weird. You're like, I guess their
Avatar
costume,
is
they
the
count.
sneak here.
Their costume, yeah, Spider's wearing a costume. He's live action. He counts for sure. But like, I don't know. And then Sinners is something unique. I don't know. Who do you think's got it?
Yeah, I mean these are all period pieces except for Avatar. So there's lots of challenges in all those. Sinners takes place in the 30s, Marty Supreme in the 50s, Hamnet in the 1600s, Frankenstein in the 1800s, and so yeah, I mean this could go a lot of ways. A lot of it might depend on the momentum of the evening. Avatar: Fire and Ash being in here is kind of surprising because, like I said, it's largely a digital film, and again, Wicked being completely snubbed. This is one of the places it might have gotten in, and it didn't.
Yeah, you're right. No Wicked.
Best film editing: F1, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sentimental Value, and Sinner. So this is one of, I think, 3 nominations for F1. The editing is really, really good in that film. And again, that's part of the technical side of F1 is really good. It's probably going to walk away with at least one award coming tonight. Just, again, you got to, if you're going to nominate the dad film, you got to give it something, probably. The rest of these films are phenomenal as well.
I know editing's a tough one. Like it's kind of the hidden element of movies, right? Like you're not always keenly aware of it. I think if I was gonna pick one of what's here, probably Sinners. Like I don't know. There's just some really special stuff going on. I was watching a featurette where they talked about that one long tracking shot in the middle of it as they're like going through the music of the ages, and like summoning like the spirits of old. And they talked about how like they got that shot like months apart from like as the barn burns down around everybody. They did all this tracking shot, and then like 2 months later, when they torn the set down, they got these like burn down parts, and then they just stitched it together, and it looks so smooth. And I'm like, that's amazing. I think that movie's full of stuff like that. The one I want in here is No Other Choice. No Other Choice has amazing editing. It's amazing.
Yeah, it really does.
There are transitions in that movie that no other film comes close. If that was in here, I'd be a lock, but it's not. It didn't get a single nom. So if my heart had, it'd be that. It doesn't. Maybe Sinners. I think. I should take Best Makeup and Hairstyling, which also is arguably a Wicked snub, right? You thought that was in here too. Yep. Best Makeup and Hairstyling, Frankenstein. Kokuo, which is a film I don't know anything about, but I was hearing apparently Tom Cruise is really going to bat for this movie. It's a Japanese film. He's been holding private screenings. Sinners over at Warner Brothers. Smashing Machine, hey, makes an appearance.
The other Safdie
stumbling in through the back door. And The Ugly Stepsister, which was a twisted live-action Cinderella retelling that we did not see, but I remember seeing stuff for, a bit of a horror film. We've seen a few of these. What do you think, Andy?
So this is a really interesting category of selections. The Ugly Stepsister from Shudder, of all places, getting in the Cinderella, kind of twisted, dark Cinderella story, which I heard is kind of stomach-churning gore. So that's not surprising that that's in there. The only nomination for The Smashing Machine. I'm glad that Benny Safdie got at least a little bit in here. Sinners, of course. Like I said, we haven't seen Kokuo, but I'm excited to check that out at some point. Frankenstein. Again, Wicked, you would have thought Wicked was the shoe-in. It's so strange because Wicked Part 1 was such a phenomenon. It got like 10 nominations. You had Ariana Grande and Cynthia Erivo singing at the Oscars, and now they're just like completely absent. You're not getting those people. They didn't get in. I mean, there's a number of the below-the-line categories, like the technical awards you thought they might get in, and just nothing.
Yeah, it's becoming increasingly obvious that Warner Brothers knew what they had on their hands. Part 1 was solid. They didn't run any of the marketing as Wicked Part 1. It was all just Wicked, remember? And then it comes out, it ends up defying gravity. And then a year later, I started hearing rumblings that second act of Wicked sucks after intermission, and that none of it's good, and there's no good songs, and you go see the movie, and you're like, oh no, it's true. It's just the source material doesn't have a lot here. And it couldn't be more evident in Oscar Noms. It's like just nothing. No love for Wicked. It's crazy.
Best original score: Bugonia, Jerskin Fendricks, Frankenstein, Alexander Desplat, Hamnet, Max Richter, One Battle After Another, Johnny Greenwood, Sinners for Ludwig Göransson. Incredibly stacked cast. I think one of the big surprises is no Marty Supreme. Daniel LaPatin for that, which kind of points to, it seems like the Academy is not about these modern kind of techno scores. They seem to like kind of the older, like orchestral, more traditional kind of scoring, which is a little bit interesting. Sinners, I don't think it's going to win original score because Ludwig Göransson just won 2 years ago for Oppenheimer.
Yeah.
So I think it could be Johnny Greenwood's year to finally win. He probably should have won for oh gosh, now I can't remember. There Will Be Blood.
Oh, did he do that? Yeah, Paul Thomas Anderson, collaborator, Radiohead.
Yeah. Max Richter, great score for Hamnet. I cannot recall the score for Frankenstein at all. I just cannot remember the music. Jerskin Fendrix, of course, was also nominated for Poor Things in 2022, 2023. What do you think, Zach?
I'm with you. I'm a little surprised Marty's not in here. It's probably one battle for me, but man, I just rewatched Sinners a couple months ago. That score rips. And like, yeah, I know Ludwig already won, but like, it is so weird to get to the end of a film that's set in like the 30s in like the Mississippi Delta with all this like blues and like deep sound that runs in a totally different direction. And then it's like score from like a Swedish guy. Like you would just never think like it comes from that place. You would think they would have, just a totally different group of musicians working on it. And it just goes to show like he talked a lot about Ludwig. He talked a lot about how like I think on his mom's side, some of them are from there or something, and how he like dipped way back into it to get this score together. And like, it's something really special for Sinners. But man, that one battle score is so good. It's so simple. It's stripped down. It's a piano set to like the tempo of like that guy's car door at the end of the movie. Like it's nuts. Like they're both incredible. Got to be one of those. Best.
I think. Well, I was going to say with Sinners, Ludwig Göransson, like he gets real into the research. Like he did the score to both Black Panther movies, and like he lived in Mexico for years studying the music of the Yucatan. For Sinners, they found like guitars from the 30s to use. Like he gets deep into the research. We'll move to the area and study and all that to get the authentic sound. So he's really one of the greats already. And he's not very old either. It's going to be great. Go ahead with Best Original Song.
Yeah. He also, one more note on Ludwig Göransson. He also co-produces all of his soundtracks with his wife, who's an accomplished violinist and usually plays on everything he does. They're like a tag team. Like he'll get stuck on something and she's like, well, what about this? Or like, hey, what do you think of this melody? And like the two of them are just, dude, like you said, they will move across the world. They get deep in it. Like they're doing something special. Like this kid's going places. Best Original Song, Dear Me from Diane Warren Relentless. Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters. I Lied to You from Sinners. Sweet Dreams of Joy from Viva Verde. And Train Dreams from Train Dreams. It's Golden, baby. Maybe I Lied to You from Sinners because that song does rip, but like, dude, I heard Golden at like football games and stuff. You know what I mean? Like, I think I heard Golden in the grocery store the other day. Like to me, if we're gonna talk about what stands out, it's that one. But like, I don't know. What do you think?
Again, think of how do you get certain people on stage? If you want Golden performed at the Oscars, you better give him a statue. It's one of the few ones where like the song is in the movie and part of the movie and not just at the end credits like a lot of these are. I Lied to You is right at kind of at the coda of the film, so that's a little bit different. But yeah, it's probably going to be Golden.
Yeah, and God, you have the three of them come up and perform it, and it's kind of like the girls in the movie performing it. Like, yeah, it just seems like a
layup. Best Production Design: Frankenstein, Hamnet, Marty Supreme, One Battle After Another, Sinners. It's like we're saying the same five movies.
I know
every time. Again, I mean this could go a number of ways. I don't really have a favorite here. All the films had great production.
Same. Yeah, I maybe Frankenstein. They'd have some cool sets. For all my slander about the cinematography, the Frankenstein sets are sick. Like for what it's worth, that lab looked awesome. Best Sound: F1, Frankenstein, One Battle After Another, Sinners, and Seurat. Haven't seen Seurat. Maybe F1. Maybe this is the one that you throw them. Like, yeah, those engines sure sounded good. You know what I mean? Like, if there's anything that stood out about F1, it was the car work. That stuff really works incredible, and admittedly, sound is a very large part of that. Yeah, I don't know. Yeah, F1, I guess. Yeah, throw them the consolation Oscar.
Yeah, that's what I feel like this will get. I mean, it could have easily gone to the rest of these. Really excited to see Surat. Heard really kind of very mixed things from people. Like some people love it, some people think it's overrated. But I mean, it showed up a couple of places here on these Oscar noms, so we're excited to see that. Best visual effects: Avatar: Fire and Ash, F1 again, Jurassic World: Rebirth, The Lost Bus. That's a total sneak, and Sinners. The Lost Bus, for those of you who don't know, this is a Matthew McConaughey Apple film about the fires of California, where he picked up a group of school children and drove them to safety, and apparently it's very dramatic, and people were in real danger. But that's like an Apple film no one has seen, so I can't believe that's on there. Superman missing here, which is that's my one that I think should have been on here. Again, there's enough F1. F1 has 4 nominations, I think now. I think they're getting one.
2.
One of these.
You're right. Yeah, like F1 got an awful lot of love. Why wouldn't they? Right? It's Apple, and it's a commercial for the biggest car racing thing ever. You know what I mean? Like, of course they're gonna get some love in here. They're gonna campaign on it. It's Joseph Kosinski, the new Brad Pitt film. Like, I get it. They were campaigning hard for F1, but it just kind of feels out of place. Visual effects probably going to Avatar, right? Like, that's just, come on. What else? What's going to beat it? I hope something does beat it, so we can get a camera of like James Cameron getting up and storming out, pissed off, like, this sucks. He wouldn't do that, obviously, but I don't know. Yeah, the other ones are like, I don't know. F1 makes a little bit of sense in here. I don't know. Anyway, that's just about the list. There's some stuff we skipped because we didn't get to it. We didn't talk about best short. We didn't talk about best documentary, but we didn't watch those things. And far be it from me to tell you who's going to win when I truly have no idea. Let's talk about snubs, huh? And surprises. Definitely some names that are missing in here. No Wicked. No 28 Years Later, The Bone Temple. No Highest to Lowest. How could they? What do you think, Andy?
Right, so we've already covered Wicked, completely shut out, and like I said, it's such a big difference from the first one. The first one was such a phenomenon. They had so much momentum. They were campaigning hard, 10 nominations. It was a whole thing, and then part 2, just nothing. No one likes that movie, which I think is pretty funny. Chase Infinity not getting nominated, which we talked about earlier. Not a surprise. She's young. She's not in the movie for very long. A lot of people thought it was more of a supporting role. That's not really surprising. Paul Mescal not getting nominated for Best Actor for Hamnet. Not surprising to me. I was like, oh yeah, he is really good in that movie, but I don't think it's much of a miss. Superman missing VFX. I think the biggest snub, No Other Choice, completely shut out. We just saw that last week. An incredible film, just not being recognized at all. And the Academy is becoming more international, so really sucks that it didn't get in there.
It is baffling to look at Park Chan-wook's filmography and realize he still has not. It's like, what are we doing here, guys? Like, you gotta get your head on straight. Like, nothing for this guy. Like, every time I watch a Park Chan-wook movie, I'm like more impressed. Like, oh my god, he can't miss. He's incredible. Yeah, no Wicked, no Other Choice. Hamnet, Paul Mescal does not catch a nom for Hamnet. Kate Hudson was a surprise. No VFX for Superman. Let's see. Weapons got the
Sorry
one.
Baby.
Yes. Yeah, nothing for Eva
So
Victor.
there was
Sorry
some talk.
Baby. No J.
There was
Kelly.
some talk that Sorry Baby could get a writing nomination or even a Best Picture nom. It's a really great first time feature, but nothing. And Ava Victor has been recognized in other places. She got like new young director award at something. J. Kelly, a movie I hate, absolutely completely shut out. But it was like in the conversation at one point. They was like, "Oh, Adam Sandler, he's a lock for a nom."
Oh, dude, I've listened. I listened to Big Picture Pod, and Sean Fennessy was talking about he was like sure that Adam Sandler was getting a nod for J. Kelly, and I was just like, dog, what are you talking? He's so fine in that movie. He is so thunderingly milquetoast. Like, but he was really into it. Oh my god, like, oh, it's gonna happen for sure. No Die My Love, right? Nothing. No Testament of Ann Lee. For what it's worth, Frankenstein, pretty good. No nom for Guillermo Del Toro, but still like a lot of love, I think, around that way. What do you think? 35,000 foot view. Are you ready for like final impressions?
Just a couple.
Are we there yet?
A couple of other things. So yeah, Del Toro missing for Best Director. Del Toro is so beloved, so I'm surprised he kind of didn't get in there as well. Testament of Ann Lee. You have to put out your movie before the voting starts. Like, Testament of Ann Lee comes out this weekend, and it's like Sinners came out last spring. One Battle After Another was like a fall phenom. Like, you got to put the movie out and let it get some buzz and let people see it. Because apparently, Amanda Seyfried is incredible in the movie. But who would you know? Like, it's coming out so late. Sentimental Value also not getting nominated in the best casting is kind of strange, because literally the entire cast was nominated for an Oscar, like all 4 major players.
Yeah.
So kind of baffling there.
Like I said at the top, like, you never know exactly which way it's going to go. You can kind of read the tea leaves, but I mean, even still, like, thinking that Sinners has 16 noms, to me, reflects a little bit like Mad Max Fury Road, right? When that movie came out and like got a bunch of noms and won a few things, and then quietly does not win Best Picture or Best Director. That's like, what are we doing here? Like, if we can respect that it's so good that it just checks all these boxes, banger, 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 and then it comes down to it and it doesn't win it, what the hell's happening? I don't know, man. Like, this is the Academy that put up Coda for Best Picture. You know what I mean? So, like, anything can happen.
Exactly.
Anyway, with that being said, real quick, final thoughts, 35,000 foot view. Andy, 2026 Oscars, what do you think?
I think this is one of the better years for nominations. It's like 4 out of 5 nominations happened that deserved it and that you thought. There's a few snubs and a few sneaks that we didn't, that happens every year. But overall, the noms went to the right films and the right actors. We have the new casting category that's brand new. It'll be exciting to see who wins that and how that award shapes and continues to be in years to come. We'll see on March 15th.
I still think One Battle After Another is probably going to lead the charge, but with 16 noms, I hope Sinners wins all of them. I hope Delroy Lindo wins Best Supporting. I'm not missing Wicked. I am missing No Other Choice. I'm so bummed that movie didn't get nominated. Please go check it out if you have the means. All reviews for nearly all of these are on the channel, man. We have been covering them this year. We've been hitting them. So go hit the channel, YouTube, check us out, and we'll tell you whether or not these things are worth watching. And stick around for March, because we'll be talking about the Oscars when they come up. And that's that. That's the Oscar noms for 2026. Good Lord. What a conversation. Oh, God, dude, this is a long segment. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine. It's our podcast. We talk as long as we want. It's fine. Anyway,
that's right.
We're going to get to our other film momentarily. Yeah. And if you like what we're doing here, stick around and subscribe to Off Script on, YouTube or all your audio platforms, what have you. And we'll tell you more about the movies as they come along. Thanks, guys.